Bryant McFadden, former defensive back in the NFL, if he would take the over or under on the Browns win total, which is 8.5. This is from CBS Sports HQ.
Take the over. 8.5 is extremely low for a very, very talented team on either side of the football field. I echo your concerns, John, when you talk about Deshaun Watson. But the Cleveland Browns, they're the one team in the National Football League where they don't really rely on their quarterback as much. Heck, if you look at their success a year ago, that proves my point. This is a team that is overly balanced where they don't need outstanding play from the quarterback. So I'm taking the over. And one of the big reasons why I'm taking the over is because of their schedule. Look at their first 5 ball games. They got Jacksonville, Dallas at home, travel to Jacksonville. You got the Giants, you got the Raiders, you got the Commanders. When you look at the first five ball games, I easily see 4-1. 4-1. And if you look at the rest of the schedule, winnable ball games where they will be the clear-cut favorites going into those ball games as we see it right now. Against the Chargers, against the Saints, against the Broncos. And then within divisional play, they're going to split ball games against maybe Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh based on the history of these divisional teams.
Dalton, that's one of the most logical schedule game breakdowns that you're going to hear. The danger with doing that at this time of the year, you got to tell me who's going to play quarterback in those games. That's the main thing. Injuries play a huge part every year.
Absolutely, and it played a huge part for the Browns, and they persevered through. And I think, honestly, I'm tempted to take the over, also over 8.5. It seems like a reasonable total, and they won 11 last year with a lot of difficulty. It really depends on Deshaun Watson, right? When you talk about, like, what guy are we getting here, right? Because in the AFC, there's a boatload of elite quarterbacks, right? Mahomes and Allen and Stroud and Herbert and Lamar and everybody. And I don't think a lot of people think of Watson in that category anymore. So they are at a disadvantage there. But the two things that would concern me when picking the over on this win total, one, he mentioned the beginning of the schedule, but I think the back half of the schedule will concern me. The last 5 games, you talk about Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Miami, and Baltimore. That's as hard a last 5 as you could get. Last year when they were playing with Joe Flacco, they got to play against teams like the Bears and the Jets, who clearly they were better than at that point in the year, right? The other one would be, to me, there is a clear split in performance for this team between their home and road games. It's actually, last year was one of the best home field advantages in football. I believe they went 8-1 during the regular season. Their defense was spectacular. It was a hard place to go into and win, but they didn't look nearly as good on the road. And 4 of their first 6 games are on the road. I want to see this team and their defense especially travel on these road games and not give up. I believe they gave up almost, 30 points a game on the road? It was some high total that you wouldn't think it would be. They need to play better on the road before we really start talking about them being in the elite class in the AFC.